we hear the term mindful all the time, right? And the tricky thing about when we hear something often enough, we start to get numb to it and we start to say, oh, that's just a thing. And we don't actually take it seriously, right? It's really easy. I do it. It's just normal. When you hear something a lot, you're like, okay, yeah, that thing. But I want to encourage you today and this week to really be intentional, mindful. All those terms are great terms. Sometimes we feel like they're overused because, people are talking about it more and more because they are important. And they're really a good way of describing what we're talking about. But it's really taking a moment, becoming aware, and asking yourself, what is it that, for example, what is it that's holding me back right now? Taking yourself back to now, to this moment, to being present, to being aware of what you're doing and thinking and where you're cutting yourself off and how you're selling yourself short and where you're stopping yourself. Mindful is really a sense of awareness of yourself and the present moment. So I want to encourage you to not just journal about it, about where you're stopping yourself from just, not just your big goals, but be really mindful this week of where you are and what you're doing and saying and how you're talking to yourself. Because the thing about it is we get in these patterns, right? And we start just habits of how we respond to things. Oh, you silly, what were you thinking? That was stupid. And you're talking to yourself about yourself and it becomes a habit. Then we get that inside of ourselves. Why didn't you ever do that? I can't believe I wasted that time. I should have been doing this. Oh my gosh, if I had only gone to that meeting, I could have done this. Stop it. Because you're beating yourself up for things and you were probably in the right place at the right time for you anyway. And if you weren't, you can become aware and figure out why and change it next time. So I want to encourage you to first become aware and second, really be present now and ask yourself, what it is that you're doing to stop yourself in this moment. And that's why if you do one moment at a time, take a deep breath, you'll get to the big goal. And of course, it's important to take some time every now and then to focus on the big picture and the goals and the dreams. But I'm a dreamer at heart, and it's really easy to go there all the time because the big goals are fun and the big visions are fun. But if we're only focused out there in the big future, it's easy to actually be self-defeating because if we're only focused on that big goal, then we feel like we have to be there right now because we're not even giving ourselves progressive goals to focus on and small steps. And if we don't pick out the small steps and accomplish them and have the win, then we never feel like we're getting anywhere and we defeat ourselves from the beginning. And I used to do that all the time. I know how it feels. So start now. Of course, have your big goals, but focus now. Focus on one small thing that you're doing to defeat yourself or stop yourself. Or maybe it's a negative self-talk. Maybe it's a positive. Yay, I did it. I'm going to do it again and encourage yourself. I want to encourage you, be present, become aware, and focus on one small step at a time. Pat yourself on the back, accomplish it. And that's really what being mindful and aware is all about. Have a fantastic week.